I don't know if there's sound or not. Not really sure. There may be, there may not be. I just wanted to try to knock some of this out. I don't even know why I grabbed this big ass brush. I just know this thing has been sitting on my wall for like half a year. More than that, actually, I'm sure of it. I kind of like the incomplete look of it, but I figure I can still kind of keep that look, but also finish it. Have to pull up my reference photo because I had to, well, I didn't have to, but decided to draw on Procreate what I was gonna do to this, just because I didn't want to hop in and destroy it. I mean, there's not really any way this can be destroyed, I don't think, unless I just like flew into a alcoholic bender and just started like punching the canvas or something. I think at this point it's pretty safe to say like I lucked out with the face. I don't remember if I had the face already drawn on this canvas and then I just went in. It was one of those things where I had extra gray paint from something, probably like a tree background or something. And I hate wasting paint because paint's expensive. So I just kind of sketched out his face in paint, and with his like raggedy ass scarred up face, it just looked dope. At least to me it did. I don't know. I really actually like this painting a lot. I don't even know if I would sell it. I think this might be one I just keep for me. Maybe I'll make prints or something. I know people hate prints. Not art prints, just the musician prints, everyone. This is literally what it's like when I'm home alone anyway. Just talk to myself. Just a nice little talking to myself. Should just do everything in the tone of Bob Ross.
You're the only one who wasn't afraid to come here today.
Yeah, I think I did draw it. I mean, I can see the outline now that I look at it a little closer. I mean, not like I had to be close, but you know what I'm saying. And if you don't know, now you know. I don't think anyone's watching anyway, so it doesn't even matter. So it's literally just me talking to myself as per usual. Talking to myself and painting. Should do it like that old famous George Washington painting and do like the side, like make it look like it's blank canvas. The artist died, painting his Lord. is cold as balls outside. Who's gonna go out? Who's gonna go out and plan for my upcoming triathlon? Plan for it, train for it, whatever. I mean, it's all bullshit. Anyway, I'm not running nothing. These old bones, I'm lucky I even get out of bed. This is like one of the few paintings I actually want paint strokes to show. I don't know. I still don't think I've ever... I mean, I guess I've landed on a style. I guess it's pretty obvious. I think you could pick my art out of a police lineup. That'll be weird when you go to the police station to point out the art that hurts you. But, I mean, as far as like a technique or like a specific coloring style or whatever, I think like the aesthetics of my work is obvious, but I think that the coloring itself is something that I've used a lot of different styles. I'm kind of sad I fell out of watercolor, but I was thinking I could probably hop back into it because I was making some pretty good strides, and I kind of thought it complemented my illustration style a lot. But I would do it, and then I would go on a work trip. Like, I'd be working on it for like 2 months straight, like pretty hardcore. Then I'd get into it, develop it, and then I would go on a work trip somewhere for like 3 weeks, and I'd get home and I'd like decompress and just be lazy and like play video games and stuff, and like never really fell into a rhythm again. And then I would start to fall into a rhythm, and the same thing, I would like go on another work trip and then get back. And now with the iPad, thanks to dope ass Rocky Brooks and my friend Tori Tong, Rocky was telling me about it forever, and then Tori got one and was going on about how freaking dope they are. And it's true. They mimic everything. Like, I can literally make something look like a oil painting. I can make something look like watercolor. And the plus is I can draw while lying down, which is good because I have been drawing so much since the beginning of the lockdowns and stuff. And like, I just started getting like cricks in my neck. Is that what they call it? I don't know. It was annoying, that's for sure. Like, because it would cause tension headaches and stuff. So I slowed down. But anyway, drawing digital and being able to like lay down and draw is it's pretty amazing. I'm sure I could draw lying down with like pen and paper, but I never do. I would probably fall asleep and stab my eye out because I'm extremely clumsy. Let me go get a quick refill of water for my sprayer, since nobody's watching. Alrighty. So that's something weird that I've learned too. If you are for some reason watching this all the way through, I mean, I'm not like knocking myself. It might be cool to watch. I don't know. Really good pigmented paint and water are like two things I swear I just never even messed with on acrylics, like ever. I never thought of it. I'd always buy the cheap ass paint because it was a cheapskate. Still am, but the coverage on, like, it's actually just worth it to go ahead and buy pricey material, because it seems pricey, but really, dude, like, you're just paying for the pigmentation, and the coverage is ridiculous. Like, I can literally do stuff without having to go back in and like, you'd have to do layer after layer with cheap paint. I don't even think anyone in modern history has any of my cheap paint paintings, because I don't know when it was. There was some point where I went to Michael's with a coupon and bought some golden acrylics because I had read about them. And I think I got like 6 tubes. It was like a 6-tube set for like 30 some odd dollars or something. And I would just kind of mix those with like my jankier, cheaper stuff, and it like spreads the pigment on cheap paint too. And I realized I got like so much more out of it. Like and then I didn't have to go back, because going back over in layers, like, you might make like something that's in your head like a perfect stroke, and then you have to go back and paint over it to like correct canvas bleeding through, and then absolutely ruin it, which is really frustrating. Just putting a couple little highlights on this crazy new god. Kind of make it pop. And that's the thing too, man. I sat on my butt for so long. Because it just would be hard to get motivated to go out and paint, like set up and all that stuff. But like the old adage says, dude, practice makes perfect. Like, I'm getting to the point where I can start to paint stuff in my sleep. So maybe I can start to do. I still feel like I'm at a really, I don't know if I'd say beginner level, but I'm not making pieces that my brain is conceiving of. I'm not making anything like complex. But I'm gaining control of the paint, and I'm gaining control of technique, and I still have really good brushes that I haven't even cracked open. I bought some really expensive brushes when I had my last job because I was getting paid well, and my investment, instead of being smart and getting like Bitcoin or anything like that, I just invested in art supplies, because I was basically just waiting for the layoff at my last job. It was like, when that happens, I'll just paint. And that never, I mean, it happened, but I never ended up doing the whole, like, I'm going to paint really hard for a year. But the lockdowns definitely, lockdowns and Lindsay, she doesn't let me get away with being lazy at all. She's actually not really like cracking any whips. It's just, I see her work ethic and I'm like, there's no way I'm not gonna follow those footsteps, because I see her successes. But I probably should use those new brushes sometime. I don't even know why I'm not. I'm literally using the most bottom of the barrel brushes, but kind of figure it's like anything else, dude. If you can teach yourself to get good with like really bad supplies, like, I mean, it's like Jordans, dude. You can go out and buy Jordans, but you're not gonna hit jumpers. Just jumpers. How wide am I? But you're not. You're not gonna, just because you bought Jordans. It isn't the shoes. Obviously, I learned I learned that pretty quick when I got some Jordans, and I still sucked. I think I scored like 4 points a season. But anyway, my point is, you get good making beats on a PlayStation. You get good painting with janky like materials. Then the good materials will help you. But just going out and buying good materials isn't gonna make you draw or paint good. The way I look at it. Now, I gotta do gold for the other part of his helmet, which is going to be obnoxious. Need to get more water in this cup. If anyone watches this later, wonders why I keep leaving, it's because I can. So I'm still trying to figure out yellow. It's a tough pigment to work with. I still gotta go through and do one more touch up on a tree painting I did in yellow. But I have noticed if you lay down a layer behind it first, trying to find this color, it is like it's like an off gold type color or something. Or even just white. I don't know what it is about the white pigment, but it'll like solidify the background so you can paint on it. So that's, I'm going to do like a little whitish. This color is called bronze yellow. I don't know why I modeled this Darkseid after my action figure of him. That like super giant DC Essential Legends, whatever the hell. Basically, I'm a big geek, is what I'm trying to say. And I was just chilling and I drew it, and I was like, dude, I should paint this up someday. Even though I said for years I would never do fan art, and I actually kind of talked a lot of crap about people who did. And now I'm people. Basically George Lucas, dude. I've become what I hated. Look at this brush. Had this brush since the old war of art. My background music ran out. Can't have that. Huh, I kind of actually like this color. Might not even go much more yellow than this. I don't think I've ever actually used this color, which is kind of weird. I mean, I've used it, but I've always mixed it to make like branches or something. But I can already tell that this brush is not going to cut it. It's gonna cause a fuck up. So be careful. But we like to call those happy mistakes. call them fuck ups. Love this beat. Alright, I got a brush that's gonna be better. How did I have this? That's what I thought. Gotta say, I'm actually pretty pleased with that yellow. I honestly thought this was just gonna be a background and then paint over it, but I think going like more yellow might look weird. And this, with this yellow, I can get some strokes in, make it look kind of raw. See, that's the dope thing when you do a jack up like that, like I just did. I mean, no one would, maybe purists and other artists would notice. Most people wouldn't notice. But when the color next, like underneath it is just blue, like, kind of gives me the freedom to possibly mess up, because I'm like, well, what? Like, I'll just go over it with blue, like fix it. It's pretty damn easy, really. I think I dig that. That looks pretty tight, if I'm being honest. Which took years of therapy for me to compliment myself. Yeah. Now you know everything you need to know about me. Everything you never wanted to know. That man has no confidence and he talks to himself. He must be a witch. Let's see. I need to figure out a different camera angle so my hand's not always in the damn way. I think it'd be ill if like everybody that was bald, like men that were balding, like all wore darkseid headpieces. I think we should make that shit mandatory. Because then you look like a crazy ass demigod psycho, and then Hair Club for Men goes out of business. You know, we gotta get rid of that big hair plug. Industry. This paint's a little thick. That's alright. Didn't really want it to look like a Cezanne up here, but it kinda does. Paul Cezanne does darkseid. I don't even remember if his name was Paul. Who cares? I never even finished my art degree. No one will ever ask me. If I ever get into high society and I have to talk about art stuff, oh man, people are gonna know I'm a phony. That guy doesn't even know. Degas. I may end this in a second. Hold on. I have a visitor. Thanks. Yeah, I was just like, I gotta finish something. Oh, Lord. I think I like that yellow. I think I'm going to keep that yellow. That's the way to go. For now, gotta bust out a highlight on that. Try to fix that. All in all, it came together pretty easy because I already had a plan. A lot of times I just go in half-cocked, bar fighting. Drunk bar fighter. That's all I am. unsure what there's poor food in there. Yeah. Chickens. Am I right? I think I'm digging this, which is good, 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 good. It's good for business. I think I need to touch up this top part here. I see some blue showing through, which is fine. I kind of wanted it to look sloppy, but I don't want it to look like it's an error. There's a fine line between something looking intentional and something looking like something that the artist overlooked, I guess you could say, or an error. I don't know, man. Art's subjective. What I dig, you might not, vice versa. I don't know why, I just got like a Last Starfighter flashback. I don't know if something about this helmet. Maybe it was I think it was his partner's face or something was all cringly and shit. I don't remember though. I used to watch that movie like all the time. Nah, I don't know shit. I think that's pretty slick. Personally, I need to go back and do the blue again, but for all y'all that hopped in or are watching this later, all that good stuff, I really appreciate it. Hopefully the sound came through. So I'm sure a lot of times, like, it's kind of weird. You like hop in and I'm just playing music and it's just kind of like, oh, okay, this is boring. I mean, not saying that like me talking is like dope or something, but throw a little bit of gold in there for no reason. It's like I say, if I don't like it later, I can always turn that shit into blue and you'll never even know. This is what we call variety, or unity, or balance. Because when you have like gold in one area, you gotta like spread it, whatever. Then I think I'm gonna do his Omega Beam on his chest, or his Omega symbol in red, and just leave it like kind of unfinished. I think it looks dope. And I like it, and since it's for me, whatever. thank you for watching if you did. And if you didn't, thank you for being alive. Everybody have a great weekend. I'm sure I'll be streaming again soon.